y'all, welcome back to Endeavor. We are gonna talk about push-pull energy. We talk about that quite often here. And we're gonna talk about it in relationship to snapping or dumping somebody on the ground, right? Now, you may have heard of or seen the concept of a snap down in general, right? She overcommits her energy forward, I step back and snap her head towards the mat. The idea is great, it's fantastic. I use it all the time, it's great, especially for us short people. If I can get a taller person down to my level, like thumbs up. What I want to talk about specifically today is the mechanics of that, the pressure and the energy transfer. Because if I understand the energy transfer, then you'll notice that these snaps and dumps actually present themselves in a lot of places, even outside of our half collar tie. So the idea is really simple. What I want is, if I'm going to pull her, which is what a snap is, then I want her to push. I want her giving me the energy that I want for my takedown. If she's pulling backwards, me pulling her the opposite direction turns into a muscling match. If I'm fighting somebody larger than me, stronger than me, whatever, that becomes a big pain in the ass. Even if they're your same size, it's a huge pain in the ass to actually resist against somebody else's strength. So I want to get her to give me the motion that I want. So if I want her pushing, that means I'm gonna push. So when we get into these positions, I'm gonna drive into her. That makes her wanna push back because she realizes that she's losing pressure backwards. Once I've given or gotten rather that pushing energy from them, I wanna take advantage of it, and I wanna take advantage of it quick. The sooner I can feel that change in direction, the more likely I'm gonna be able to capitalize on top of this. So the idea is gonna be really simple. Remember, we're looking at it right now from a half collar tie. However, we're looking at the concept of it, generating force and feeling different energy transfers, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna push into her. When she pushes back, I'm gonna pull and snap the head down to get there, right? So that's what we're looking for, that transfer of energy. I push, they start resisting, they plant and start to push back. That's when I wanna change direction on them and pull them, right? That's when I wanna change direction on them and pull them. I want you guys to get that one glued into your head. Now, if I am finishing this, I wanna put them to the floor, it's more of a commitment, right? That's really what it comes down to. So I'm pushing in, she pushes back, I snap. Once I've got her off balance and nose over toes, I wanna continue that motion. So that motion is more than downward and more than back, it's downward and back. So I'm gonna take little chop steps as I drag and push her head towards the mat. Okay, and that's gonna put me in my snap. Now, where I go with that snap afterwards is a whole nother conversation. For today, it's about this energy transfer and this change. So one last time from our half collar tie, I push into her, she pushes back, I take my chop steps, and I run her backwards, continuing that off balance until she hits the floor. So, basic concept. Now let's look at it from a couple of different places. So we're gonna look at it from the front side 2-on-1, right? Front side 2-on-1. Two hands, controlling one arm, right? And I'm on the front. Front side 2-on-1. From this position, when I get in, I like, if I have the inside, when I'm doing my front 2-on-1, I like to drop my inside elbow across her forearm. From here, I'm applying head pressure, okay? So now I have my good pressure here. Now it's the same thing, right? We talk about this a lot in knife, and we'll show this here in a minute, but if she's trying to stab and pull and push with that arm, there's a lot of push-pull energy for me to take advantage of. So I'm in this position, I start to push into her, she pushes back, and now I can pull backwards chop, snap that energy straight to the ground, and notice again, it's commitment. Okay, constant movement backwards to get into that spot. So that's from our front side 2-on-1. Outside 2-on-1, arms in, head pressure, can be over, can be under, doesn't really matter. Head's in nice and tight. Same thing, I wanna get pushing energy out of her, so I push in, she pushes back, I snap. Okay, in both of those 2-on-1 positions, I like to stretch the arm out, right? Take the limb away from him if I can. However, we're talking about the pressures, the pushes, the pulls, and that's what we're looking at today. Even if I get to the back, or even just on the side hip, right? And I'm in this perspective, same exact idea. Whether I have this far side hook, inside control here, which we utilize a lot in our knife control concepts, whether I've got this arm blocked in here, whether I've got it still pinned into here, doesn't matter. I could be completely on her back. I have this back position. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split her stance and stand her up, right? This makes her uncomfortable. So what she wants to do is, or what she's gonna feel, is exactly that. Shove her hips back into me. That is a push. So the second I feel that, I step back, snap, pull to the floor, boom, boom. I'm in good positions to, again, use that energy. I stand them up, they get here, They want to push that hip back and bring here. That's a push. I utilize that hip, pull right across the hips, right? So I'm looking at this from understanding pushes and pulls. Yes, there's techniques in here, but pushes and pulls are really where I want you focusing on. Feeling pressure changes, feeling when that movement gets into it, and then knowing that I can bait that movement. So my head's in, right? And let's say that she's pulling. Okay, cool. If I want to get some pushing energy, then I need to aggressively push and shove. She goes to plant, goes the opposite direction. I go to put the arm back down. I'm creating and generating that force. I'm baiting in it. It comes in real handy if we look at knife stuff, right? Generally speaking, when you have a weapon in your hand, you're fixated on it for obvious reasons. And so if I am in some form of control, right, and I'm fighting through this, there's a lot of energy here. She's trying to get her knife back and stab me and move around and control. And I can take advantage of this energy if I can start to feel that energy. And that's what's super important. So as we're in here and I'm fighting through these positions, I can easily take those energy changes if I can feel them and put them into the floor. Back position, right? Let's say I have a gift wrap. Again, not only am I making her uncomfortable and standing her up, she wants this knife back. Right? So she's tugging with her arms, she's adjusting her hips, she's running, and I can easily use that energy to dump them down onto the floor and go to hit from there, right? So it's about feeling pushes and pulls. It's about feeling transfer of energy. If I can get that and I start to build that sensitivity, then all of a sudden I can really start to open up very easy takedowns. High reward, low risk takedowns. And that's where we really like to stay when we're in the self-defense world. So we deal with a lot of these mechanics and concepts in our knife control concepts and our hybrid defense program. These are great stuff. Start playing around with snaps, dumps, feeling out pressure. They are the cheapest, most amazing, wonderful takedowns. Elevate your fight game. We'll see you guys next time.